What's a good deal? This is the real A-Town, aka RGB Fox, and here I'm actually uploading a hat matchup versus Mermail. Classic hat versus the build that I've demonstrated recently on one of my recent videos, and this is where things end up going horribly wrong. As you can see here, both opening hands, one clearly looks better than the other. I have a Breakthrough, Bottomless, Soul Charge, Genesis Controller, and Abyss Lind, where my opponent has Sanctum, Call, Duality, Double Cyclone, and Ice Hand. And I believe he starts, which he does. So here he goes for Duality to start, grabs himself a Moral Tech, leads me to believe he either has a Sanctum or a way to remove it, such as an Ignition, perhaps he has Double Cyclone, and he ends up setting 4. No, he sets 5 pass. I guess it's like cool to do it. You get punished if your opponent is able to break through all the back row. But I typically keep Call in hand until I know I can use it. So that's just me. For the start of my turn, right, I draw an Abyss Tias, and I end up not setting my back row, which you'll see ends up being kind of a mistake here. As I'm thinking, I don't want to get Double Cyclone and give him any reason to be able to utilize, the Moral Tech that he grabbed. But it doesn't matter, because he does go Sanctum, and he plays 2 Beagle Tech. Very weird. I don't agree with double. But that's on me for, trusting that most people don't play 2. I personally play 1 Beagle Tech, 1 Scythe over 2 Beagle Tech, but, happens. I didn't know that he had the Beagle until he popped it, right? So, yep. He goes for the Constellar Pleiades, summons the Ice Hand, and I mean, I really am not in a position to fight back, even if I have the heavy infantry with the Teus. He does end up having Warning. I think I find that out. No, I don't. But yeah, it's kind of a spot that I am very unlikely to be able to play through. So, had I set my Bottomless and my Breakthrough, perhaps I would have lost 1, but it would have been beneficial for me to play around the Pleiades. So unfortunately, I have to take that L, and maybe in the future I'll stop trying to be cheeky with it. The main reason why I quit immediately was because I didn't want to reveal what I played, but things happen, right? So that's a lesson learned. Now, for my opening hand this time, I have Abyss Sphere, Teus, Lind, TT, and Light Imprisoning Mirror. My opponent has Sanctum, Mermail, Ignition, Fire Hand, and the Breakthrough skill. Honestly, very good cards to combat the hand that I have. And for my turn, I draw into the Abyss Pike. So I do what any reasonable person does, and I go for Abyss Pike, discard Lind, grab Undyne. But I think what I could have done instead, now looking back at this replay, is discard Lind, summon Teus grab Gund, and then summon Pike, discard Gund, grab the Undyne, and then I would have had a board of Teus, Pike, and Lind with 3 sets versus just the lone Abyss Pike and the Undyne, praying it gets, praying that it can resolve essentially. So this, I don't know. I find myself making bad sequencing plays all the time. I was pretty upset playing against my opponent because they were just moving lightning fast every single turn. And I mean, I guess why wouldn't you? If you play a deck for a long time, you could feel confident in what you can do. It just felt odd that he was essentially on autopilot. It makes me think that he was on the bot, and that tilted me. But my feelings aside, my turn 1 could have been way better, and I end up just kind of fumbling the bag here. He has the Ice Hand, pops my Sphere, summons the Fire Hand in defense, sets to pass. As you can see, if I had gone for the play that I mentioned just now beforehand, what could have happened is I could have had 3 bodies on board that would have helped me push further and have something established versus relying on an Abyss Sphere to resolve. And then against this matchup, you really shouldn't expect Sphere to try to resolve as much as possible, because the odds that they have, again, double Cyclone, Ignition, perhaps MST, are very high. So that's on me. I do draw the Abyss Sphere for turn, and so I just try to play through by going Undyne, paying cost, grabbing Controller, and then grabbing a Marksman. From here, I summon the Teus by pitching the Marksman, and he breakthroughs on the card that I selected. Had it been Sanctum, he would have chained it more than likely and then used the breakthrough skill, but you know, I can't win them all, right? I don't know why he didn't set the Ignition though. I would have personally set it. But moving forward, right? I don't get my search off of Teus, which again I could have gotten last turn had I actually played properly. And I'm thinking that I'll probably be fine. I go ahead and set my Sphere, and then I pass. Opponent draws Duality. But he goes for the normal summon Mermail, grab Bottomless before activating the Duality after this resolves. Well, I guess technically he won't be able to, right? Because he's going to crash, pop, and special. So, yeah, he goes, pops the Teus, summons the Ice Hand, runs over the Undyne here, and I try to go Sphere after the attack goes through to the end phase, but he does end up holding the Ignition, and it does work out in his favor as he's able to pop the Sphere, and now I have nothing. I absolutely have nothing. So, you know, I got some left pocket dog shit, and I gotta just deal with the brunt of all of this because I ended up misplaying here. So, all games are not perfect, right? There are multiple things that could have gone better for me, and I irresponsibly went for an idea that did not work out in my favor, right? So yeah, here I just summoned the Turge, attempt to run over the Mermail, and he lets it go through. Next turn summons the other one, and I mean I really cannot win at this point in time. I can try my best, and while he does go for a Ragna Zero, oddly, I don't know necessarily why, he has too much backer for me to try to fight through, and as you can see, summons the Beagle Tech while I try to go, you know, Lion Prison Mirror and stall. Nothing is going to prepare me for the other Fire Hand that he has, so that he can just crash over this and just, you know, win, right? Summon Megalo, set, or rather draw Megalo, set, but there was really nothing that I could have done here. And with the summon of Dionea, I mean, it's over. So, things to learn, play better, right? I think I had a good chance of securing dominance game 1. I just need to be able to be more proactive with my plays. Don't be afraid to do that. So yeah, Hat overall pretty strong, right? This is probably going to be the worst matchup against you, because versus Cat, I feel that you'll do better. But against the hands, man, they put in work, trust. So yeah, this has been the Real A-Town, aka RGB Fox. If you want to see less failures like this, do catch me on future replays where I feel that at some point in times I do end up playing a lot better. I'll see how it goes through. I think the list was overall fine. I did kind of break the first game, but you know, we can take those in strides and just improve on, because both games, even if I didn't draw the most optimal hand to play through back row, there was way many improvements that I should have done in each game in order to be able to actually play properly against my opponent, right? So yeah, I'll hopefully do that in the future. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Real A-Town. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.